Good day, everyone. Welcome to the TKC Bible Reading Challenge, powered by Grace Bible Mission. My name still remains Orelua, and here with me is.
Right.
So today, it's another wonderful episode we're going to be having as we
Yes.
study from
The book of
Numbers,
Numbers.
still in the book of Numbers.
So we'll be taking you through the book of Numbers 31 through to 33. So the highlight of Numbers 31 is about how God made the children of Israel to have vengeance on the Midianites
Yeah.
because they've caused them to sin. So how God made them to fight the Midianites and the purification of the things they brought from the war with fire and water, and how God went with them such that none of the Israelites was missing. None of them were missing. So it shows that God was with them. So Numbers
Yes.
32 talked about how the tribe of Reuben
And God.
and
yes.
Gad wanted to leave the other tribes behind because they saw that the land of Gilead is actually fit for the livestock. So they wanted to leave those people behind. But Moses objected to that. The Numbers 33 talked about how Moses had to document the journey, how they started from the land of Egypt, how they left the land of Egypt through to the wilderness, and how they almost got to the Canaan land.
Yeah, that was
Yes.
about 42 places in total.
Yeah, so there was
And
a
he kept record of
documentation
them.
of all the journey, how they went through, how God dealt with them in the wilderness from a particular place to a particular place. So we'll be talking about the Numbers 31, 32, 33. So about the vengeance on the Midianites.
Yeah, so from here we could see that God was so specific about them avenging on the
Yes,
Midianites.
Midianites.
So he commanded them go and fight for yourself, and they were able to defeat the Midianites, by
Midianites,
killing their
by killing
kings
them,
and
yeah.
warriors,
The
and they
men.
even captured their women and their children and livestock.
Yes.
So because
I think
these
there's a
Midianites were the
significance.
ones.
There's a significance for that.
Yes, because they were the ones that brought upon them all the
Yes.
struggles and the death.
Yes, they
So
corrupted
something,
them.
something had to be done for
To
them.
wipe them away so they
Yeah,
won't
so
corrupt.
we actually support this motion, right? We support
Actually,
we support them fighting
Yeah, the
against
Midianites.
this, because
So they
it's
won't
not-
turn the back of the Israelites against God.
yes,
So
actually,
God had to wipe them away. From
if
their-
something was not done, it would actually continue,
yeah,
and they will still continue in
to
sin.
influence the children of Israel.
Yeah, so something had to be done. Yeah, we also saw that the Israelites won. But one thing I saw here was that even after them going to war and they won, these Israelites, they still brought in this
Yeah, they brought in the
women
women
to
alive.
what was the need for them? Because these women were the ones that were involved in idolatry
Yes,
and
yes.
all, and they still brought them back. That okay, these are the women that we saw, but God had
Yeah,
to
God had to
instruct them,
them that
and
they
Moses
had
was
to-
very angry to that. Why will you spare the women who led the Israelites into idolatry and immorality?
Yeah, so they had to kill.
he had to instruct them, all the male children and the non-virgins, to be killed.
Yeah,
So we saw one important thing that was
they had
needed to
kill
be
them.
done, because if it was not done, something else can lead to something else. And
yes. So God had to control. God had to correct that.
yes,
Yes, and there's another thing that stood out in this chapter. The fact that the children of Israel went to war and came back and none of the men
we're missing.
were missing. It shows that
Yes.
God was with them. It shows that
Yes.
God actually went before them to fight the
Mm.
battle. God actually went for them to fight. Because for them to capture the women, for them to kill all the men, and none of their armies were missing, shows that it's something supernatural that is happening. So, and there's also the aspect of purification, the purification
Yes.
of the things they got from the
With
war.
fire
Yeah,
and-
with fire and with water. So it shows that God is God of cleanliness. God doesn't want something that is not pure. So they have to purify those things for it to dwell with them, for it to dwell with the children of Israel. So there is the need for purification.
And that's also a very significant process that to be done, because most of these things that were later brought were used
Yeah.
in the altar, like the
Yes.
Ark of Covenant, because they were later offered as sacrifices unto God. So they had to go through this process of purification before they could be served unto God. So we also, what can we get from this is that, you know, whenever we are rendering a service unto God, whenever we are putting forth a service unto God, we should purify our heart and not be unclean,
Yeah,
because
we don't
God
need to be
hates
unclean.
unclean things.
Yes.
So do not go to the presence of God with uncleanness.
Yes,
Purify
God is
yourself.
God that is pure. So those
Yes.
people that is going to stand before Him must be pure too.
So that's one thing that we got from there. And also, no, later on we saw in 32
Yeah, moving to 32.
that Reuben and Gad, they wanted to stay back. Why?
Yeah,
Because they saw the
he saw the
beauty
beauty of the
in
land
the
of
land.
Gilead.
So they
So
were enticed by it. So
yeah,
they wanted to stay back. But Moses was angry. He was angry because, he knew if they stayed back, it
yeah,
will cause other
can
people
cause
to relent,
discouragement.
yes,
Yeah,
and they'll get discouraged and they will not want to move further. So he had to like clarify. The letter clarified, and Reuben and Gad eventually said, "Okay, we'll
okay,
go with you and conquer
yes, but we just
for
leave
other
our
tribes,
livestock and
yes,
women
but
behind.
our
So
livestock and every other thing will be left here."
then
So
after getting to the promised land, they will now come
come
back
back
to
and
meet their
start.
women and livestock.
So from here, I got something that, most times as leaders, Reuben is actually a leader. Yeah, he's a
Mhm.
leader, and if he had actually stayed back and not won till the very end, it will
Mhm.
discourage other
Like the
people too,
tribe, the
and they
tribe
will
is a
not.
symbolism of
Yes,
leadership because
yes, and they will not
Reuben
get
is
to
the
the
first
promised
child of
land.
this thing, yeah.
Yes,
But the tribe symbolizes leadership, so
yes,
they would have discouraged other tribes.
other
Yeah.
tribes. So we as leaders, we must take responsibilities. We must
Mhm.
take responsibilities and always be at the
Forefront.
front.
Yeah.
Yes, at the forefront whenever we are being needed. So that's one of the characteristics of a leader, and unity. Had it been Moses and Reuben had quarrel, everything could have scattered, but there was unity between them, and we saw that helped them a lot in settling their differences about staying or not staying. So from Numbers 33, we could see that God was still faithful. How could we see this? We could see this from the clear record of the journey of the Israelites, like how Moses had a clear record of them, and this also helped to know keeping records is actually a very good thing, right?
Yes.
Because how would we have known that these are the journeys that the
This was
Israelites
what they
went through? Yes, and so this actually helped them.
It
Also,
also
God made
serves.
mention of
It also serves as a remembrance to their generations. So it brings about the record. So the generations that didn't witness the wilderness journey, they're able to know what their forefathers went through the wilderness. So it's a form of them knowing how God dealt with the children of Israel. So it's for record purpose.
Yeah, thank you. So even before then, God also said something about them clearing their idols and and anything that has to do with idolatry amongst them. So this is to make a clean record and avoid anything that has to do with idols in their midst, even as they start afresh. God hates you serving any other god aside from
Aside.
Him. So we've come to the end of this episode, and I hope you were able to enjoy and you were blessed. Stay tuned for the next episode, where we'll be talking about how the boundaries were being shared, and there were different leaders assigned, and so many other interesting things like that. We also saw that God never fails in His promises. So stay tuned and see you next time. We hope you've been blessed, and this will be our
Right.
last
So see you next time.
episode.
Grace and peace be to you. At the next episode, we are expecting to see you. All right. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.